Hey up! Right, I had a video planned for today. I've spent several days preparing. Well, actually, it's been several weeks preparing it. Then this morning, somewhere in the back of my head, there was this little voice telling me, Stuart, you've already made this video. So I did a bit of digging through my archives, and yeah, sure enough, actually, it's not the same video that I was going to make today, but the similarities are too close. The scary thing is, and I come across this a lot now because I've made a lot of videos over the years, I've got no recollection whatsoever of making it. It's like watching someone else's video. So what I thought I would do today is a sort of a channel update, because this channel is running into some difficulties. I've got to admit I'm struggling a bit at the moment. Now, this channel has been running in its current guise for 5.5 years. I did have the same YouTube count a couple of years before that, and I uploaded 1 or 2 videos, but they weren't the sort of content that you're used to seeing now. I was just messing about, really. But I've just passed the 80,000 subscriber mark, which is a major milestone for me. I mean, that is a hell of a lot of people. But the channel has run into some difficulties recently. Some of my videos have been demonetized, which from my point of view is both annoying and scary, because I rely on the advertising revenue from the adverts that are shown during my videos to keep this channel afloat. I think it was about a year ago now I announced that the channel was about breaking even. I have to pay for the motorcycles, I have to pay to run the motorcycles, I have to pay to tax and insure them, maintain them. I have to pay for and replace all my camera and video equipment. Editing software, it all adds up, which, as I'm sure you'll realise, is a huge investment. But to me it's a worthwhile investment because it gives me the variety that I need to try and keep this channel fresh and interesting for viewers, which in turn hopefully brings more views in. Now, this all started about 2 months ago, where a ride video, it was just a pure ride video, no talking, just the sound of the motorcycle, was demonetized. And the reason that I was given for it was that I'd used sustained bad language and profanities throughout the video. Now, if you know me and you know this channel, I don't swear very often, and if I do swear, there are only mild swear words. And as I've said in this particular video that was demonetized, giving that reason for the demonetization, there was no talking in it, let alone, the use of bad language. Now, from what I've been able to find out, it had been demonetized because someone had manually reported it as being an offensive video, and they'd given the bad language as the reason for finding it offensive. Now, what did upset me is that you do have the ability to appeal against this and get what you call a manual review, where supposedly someone at YouTube watches the video and confirms whether or not the demonetization was justified. And they agreed with the report that there was sustained profanity throughout the video. So obviously YouTube isn't actually reviewing the videos manually as it says it is. And once there's been a supposed manual review, you've got no further recourse to appeal against the decision. You're just stuck with it. So that was a day's work for nothing. And it's periodically continuing to happen. Someone is flagging up my videos as being, unsuitable for most audiences. Obviously, an individual or individuals have got some sort of vendetta against me, and they're doing the best to make life difficult. Up until sort of 2 months ago, this channel had a very high standing as far as its rating for all audiences was concerned. When you upload a video, you have to complete a sort of a checklist to confirm that it doesn't contain certain elements that are deemed, to be undesirable. This was introduced a couple of years ago, and to a large extent, YouTube trusts your input on this questionnaire. It does carry out a sort of a robotic screening of your video shortly after upload, just to make sure that you've been truthful. But even then, when you've got through all those checking stages, if someone flags your video up as being unsuitable, they basically demonetize it straight away. And then it's up to you to appeal, and I'm now having to do this on a regular basis. Luckily, for the most part, I'm being successful with the appeals, but it takes up to 2 days for YouTube to check it, by which time the majority of your views have been and gone, so you're losing money hand over fist. In fact, as of this month, I've had to start topping up my YouTube bank account with money from my police pension, so the money is there to make sure all the costs are covered. And the channel's standing, if you like, for advert compatibility is now in tatters, because the channel has, received so many complaints. Now, I'm a Yorkshireman, and asking for help sort of goes against Yorkshire pride. And to that end, I've always tried to sort of keep, requests for money out of this channel. I know other channels do it in every single video. I've always tried to sort of stay out of that trap, because personally I found it distasteful. But there are ways that viewers can assist, either through Patreon, through PayPal donations, and I always leave a sort of low-key link to those payment facilities in the video description right down at the bottom where most people don't see it, or through the super thanks button, which is just below the video that you're watching now, where you can make donations towards the upkeep and running of the channel if you wish to do so. And perhaps more importantly, under this current weird times that we're living in, only if you're in a position to do so. I'm not asking for blood out of a stone. Now, whilst we're on the subject, I would like to take the opportunity to thank that small group of people that do make regular donations through those channels. I often feel as though I don't say thank you to these people enough. But I would like to say to those people now, and they know who they are, that I do not take your donations for granted. They are greatly appreciated. And in many ways, this channel wouldn't have reached the sort of point that it's at now without your help. So thank you. Now, I want to draw a positive from what I've just been telling you, because I think in some ways this channel is getting under certain people's skins. And if that's the case, I don't regret it. We're living in very strange and difficult times at the moment. And one of the elements of that, if you like, strangeness is this cancel culture. A loud minority of people who have certain views that they wish to inflict upon society as a whole. Views which perhaps do not hold much water if they're put under scrutiny. So in order to prevent scrutiny, they put all their efforts into trying to cancel anyone that holds views that in any way conflict with theirs. And this cancel culture, if you like, is a behaviour based purely and simply out of fear. They are scared witless that other people might be prompted to look into their teachings or preachings and discover them to be flawed, as they well know they are, instead of just accepting them at face value. The last thing they want is people like you to start thinking for yourselves and looking into what you're being told. This channel has always been pitched by me as a motorcycle lifestyle channel, and to me, motorcycles mean freedom. They mean freedom to travel, freedom to experience the world around you in a way that has minimal impact on other people and the environment. Over the last year, I've produced a small number of videos where I've expressed my worry that that freedom is actually coming to an end. We're seeing measures being put in place, little bites being taken out of our freedom from every direction. that's limiting that freedom with a view to eventually almost completely removing it. In those videos, I've expressed my views based on the evidence in front of me, but I've always encouraged people to look into these things for themselves, do their own research, and draw their own conclusions rather than just take what they've been told as the gospel. And that, quite honestly, is the last thing that those people that are causing problems for this channel want. They do not want people to wake up and look into what's going on around them. I'm sure that in their naive little minds they think this behaviour will remove me from the equation and then everything will be fine again. But as I've said in the past, I'm a Yorkshireman. Yorkshiremen don't work like that. The louder you try to shout over a Yorkshireman, the louder he'll shout back. The harder you try to push a Yorkshireman, the harder he will push back at you. All that these people have proven to me is that clearly I am onto something and I've got them worried. Once again, thank you so much for watching this video and in doing so helping to support this channel. I really do appreciate it. I'd also appreciate it if you would leave a like, leave a comment as long as it's a nice one, and if you're not a subscriber, consider subscribing to this channel. I will of course be back next week, so until then please ride safely and I'll see you soon.